Children, in this we will see another physiological part of plants, that is photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the way, or it is the process by which green plants are able to make their food. And as we all know that plants are self food producers, so we call them autotroph. And the term which is used for animals, because they are dependent on plants, so we call them heterotrophs because they cannot make their own food. So autotrophs, auto means self, troph means nourish, so they can, those organisms which can nourish themselves, they are called as autotrophs. So plants, or rather green plants, they are called as autotrophic plants, autotrophs. So how do we define photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a physiological process by which green plants, in the presence of sunlight, solar energy, and chlorophyll, which is present in the chloroplast, prepare the food in the form of carbohydrates by using carbon dioxide and water. So you can see that these are the raw materials which are required for photosynthesis. What are those raw materials? Carbon dioxide, water, radiant or solar energy, sunlight, and chloroplast. So with the help of these four, what is the food which is made? It is made in the form of carbohydrate or glucose. Okay, so these are the raw materials which are needed for photosynthesis. So whenever we define photosynthesis, we have to keep in mind that it is the process in which living plants, green plants, when we are writing green plants, that means we are including this part, chloroplast, in it. So they contain, green plants which contain chlorophyll, produce food with the help of carbon dioxide and water using solar or radiant energy. If anything is missing in the definition, you will not get marks. So plants, they, and then as a result they produce food in the form of glucose and starch, and oxygen is released as a byproduct. So the definition which is given in the book, you can learn from there. It is a process by which living plant cells containing chlorophyll produce food substance, glucose and starch from carbon dioxide and water by using light energy, that is called as photosynthesis. And in this process there is a byproduct which is formed during photosynthesis. Okay. Now what is the importance of this photosynthesis to us? It is helping in providing the food for all. So it is ultimately the source of energy and food for all living organisms. It may be giving us directly or indirectly. And oxygen also helps in the breathing process, the biological process, that is respiration, because you all know that oxygen, when it is taken in, it helps in breaking down of food, and it also supports all the life on earth. So no living being can remain alive without oxygen, and that is what is the significance or importance of photosynthesis, that it provides food for all and it produces the life-saving gas, that is oxygen. Now we come to the next part, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a pigment. It is a vital pigment which is present in the plants, and where it is present? It is present inside the chloroplast. Now where are these, what are these chloroplasts? They are the double membrane bound structure. You have learned it in class 9th in first chapter when you have done in detail about the cell organelles, that there are certain structures named chloroplast. They are double membrane structure. They contain a thin sac-like structures. These they are called as thylakoid, and they are grouped, they are stacked one over the other in a form of a pile. So we call this pile as a grana. Granum is plural, grana is singular. So where are they located? They are present in a fluid. There's a space which is filled with a substance, that is a colorless ground substance, that is called as stroma. Ordinarily, if you see, there are somewhere around 40 to 50 chloroplasts which are present in a cell, and the pigment chlorophyll, it is present where? In the walls of the thylakoid. So here, see children, 2-3 questions. What is the location of chlorophyll and what is the location of chloroplast? These are two important things for you to understand and mark and write down. So where is the chlorophyll present? In the walls of the thylakoid. Whereas where are chloroplast present? Chloroplast is present in the mesophyll cells, which is located on the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis. And that I told you in the chapter transpiration, if you have seen the previous video, that palisade and spongy cells, these mesophyll cells, they split into palisade and spongy cells. So this chlorophyll, it is located in both of these cells, which help this chloroplast is present in both of these cells, which contain chlorophyll, which is present in the walls of the thylakoid. You can see this thylakoid structure here in the walls of this thylakoid. They are containing this pigment, and that helps in the formation of the food. This pigment chlorophyll, it is a complex substance which is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and magnesium. Main component is magnesium. Now if we see the structure of this chloroplast, you can see that it is a double membrane structure. I told you this whole structure, granum, it is connected with the other granum with the help of interlamellar connections. We call it as frets. This is the outer membrane, inner membrane, in between the space that is called as periplastidyl space, and it is filled with ground substance that is called as stroma or matrix. And there are certain ribosomes also which are seen present in it. So there are somewhere around 5 lakhs chloroplast per square millimeter of leaf, and that is why they are able to prepare food. And there are 9 types of chlorophyll, and out of those 9 types, chlorophyll A and B, this is most abundant. Chlorophyll is of these various types, they may exist, but mostly chlorophyll A and B, they are found they are very commonly found. Chlorophylls, they absorb light at the both ends of the visible spectrum, that is blue and red, but they always reflect away the green light. That is why these chlorophyll, they appear green in color. What does that mean? That in the visible spectrum, they are able to absorb light in this blue and red, but they are reflecting this green. That is why they look, or chlorophyll appears green in color. So the blue and red light, they are most effective for photosynthesis, because in this visible spectra, the light can be absorbed and it can be converted into the form of chemical energy, and then the food is stored in them. If there is too much of light, that is also not good. It can destroy chlorophyll. So chlorophyll, it is very, very sensitive to light. If there is too much of light which is present, it may harm this chlorophyll. The formation of chlorophyll itself depends that how much it is exposed to the sunlight. The grass growing in the shade under a stone turns yellow due to the non-formation of new chlorophyll in them, and this is basically due to the disintegration, because whatever the older chlorophyll was present, that has disintegrated, and in the absence of light, the new chlorophyll, because the chlorophyll formation itself requires light, that has not taken place. So this too much light, it destroys chlorophyll. So this is one reasoning question, why chlorophyll appears green in color. That is another reasoning question. And the byproduct that is obtained from photosynthesis, so oxygen is a life-saving gas which is produced as a byproduct by photosynthesis, another question. So all these questions can be asked, they can be framed and asked. Okay. And other than these chlorophyll pigments, there are some other accessory pigments which are present, like carotene and xanthophyll. So these pigments also help in transfer of light energy to chlorophyll A, and as I told you that too much light can destroy it, so chlorophyll is highly sensitive to light. Now this yellowing of leaf, there is a term for it, that is called as etiolation. So I hope it is clear for the understanding of what is photosynthesis, what are the raw materials which are required for photosynthesis. Let me also tell you that this raw material, carbon dioxide, because there is a conversion in this carbon dioxide only, this only helps in the formation of glucose. So plants, from where are they getting this carbon dioxide? From the atmosphere. And through stomata. After this, in the next part, we are going to see the mechanism of stomata, the structure of stomata. I have already discussed with you all in the previous chapter, in the previous video. So here this carbon dioxide, it is coming in through the stomata. Stomata open and close depending upon the need of carbon dioxide by the plants. Then second thing is water. As you all know, water is also another raw material, and water is absorbed by the soil and through roots, because the roots are helping them to absorb the water. Then the third is solar energy, radiant energy. You all know that this energy is trapped from the sun, and the green color pigment chlorophyll, which is present in the walls of the thylakoid, they are helping in trapping the solar energy and converting them into the chemical energy. So that is solar energy is used up. Then chloroplast, I told you they are green colored plastids, and they are the part of the plant very much. So these chloroplast, what is the location of chloroplast? They are present in the mesophyll cells, which is present or located in the upper and lower epidermis in palisade and spongy cells. And what is the number? It may be somewhere around 50, 100,000 or 50 lakh, you can say, per square millimeter of leaf surface. So they are small microscopic structures, and they can be differentiated into three main parts: the membranes, outer and inner membrane, then stroma, that is this ground substance, and the next is thylakoid. So I hope this part is clear to you all. In the next part, we will be discussing about mechanism of opening and closing of stoma, and the light reaction, dark reaction, and then after that all the experiments will discuss. So thank you, children.